Welcome back to Real Family Secrets. Grab your snacks, get comfortable. The people in these stories had every chance to behave themselves. They just chose wrong. Drop a comment and be sure to subscribe. You're going to love it here. My name is Marcus Webb. I served 2 tours in the army before coming home to Ohio, marrying the love of my life, Renata, and building a quiet, unremarkable life that I thought would last forever. 6 months ago, a doctor told me my wife had 3 months to live. 4 months ago, I buried her. 2 months ago, I saw her alive in a grocery store in Kentucky under a different name. Renata was diagnosed with what her oncologist called an aggressive, inoperable pancreatic mass. I remember sitting in that office, holding her hand so tight my knuckles went white, listening to a man in a white coat describe how much time we didn't have left. She fought it the way she fought everything, quietly, stubbornly, without much complaining. I quit my job to care for her. We spent our savings on treatments that weren't covered by insurance. And then, 11 weeks after the diagnosis, she was gone. A funeral, a headstone, a folded flag from my time in the service, laid across her casket at her request, because she said it made her feel like part of my story too. I want to tell you that grief has stages, that it moves in order, that you pass through denial and anger and acceptance like checkpoints on a map. It doesn't. Grief just sits on your chest like a stone, and some days it's heavier than others, and that's the whole system. 4 months passed like that. I was in Lexington, Kentucky, visiting my sister for the first time since the funeral, trying to remember how to be a person who did things other than sit in a quiet house. I was standing in the cereal aisle of a grocery store when I saw her. Same walk, same way of tucking her hair behind her left ear when she was concentrating. I stood there frozen, my cart forgotten, staring at a dead woman reaching for a box of oatmeal. She turned, and for 1 full second our eyes met. And then she saw me seeing her, and something in her face broke open. Recognition, followed immediately by a raw animal fear. "Renata," I said, and my voice came out wrong, cracked down the middle. She didn't answer. She just turned and walked, fast, toward the exit, and I followed her out into the parking lot, my heart doing something I don't have words for. "Please," I said, catching up to her by a blue sedan I didn't recognize. "Please, I buried you. I have a headstone with your name on it. Tell me what is happening right now, because I genuinely think I might be losing my mind." She turned around, and there were tears streaming down her face, and she said the last thing I expected to hear. "You weren't supposed to see me. I did this to save your life, Marcus, and now you've ruined it." We sat in her car for 2 hours in that parking lot while she told me everything, and I need you to understand that every sentence she said rearranged something I thought I knew. Her sister, Camille, my sister-in-law, a woman I'd trusted for a decade, had gotten deep into debt with a man connected to serious people, not credit card debt, the kind of debt that gets collected with threats against family, not lawyers. "Camille came to me 8 months ago," Renata said, her voice shaking. She was terrified. These people had already followed her home twice. They knew about you. They knew you were a veteran, that you'd have some death benefits, some insurance. They started asking about our address. "What does that have to do with your diagnosis?" "There was no diagnosis, Marcus. Dr. Holloway, my actual doctor, is Camille's husband's cousin. He agreed to falsify records, fake scans, a fake oncologist referral, everything." "You faked cancer," I said slowly, like saying it out loud would make it make more sense. "You faked your own death. To do what, exactly?" "To disappear," she said, "to make the debt collectors believe there was no one left worth chasing. If I was dying, then dead. There was no insurance payout worth killing for. No family worth threatening for information. Camille paid off enough of the debt with money she scraped together, and the rest of the people just lost interest once there was nothing left to gain. And me, I said. What was the plan for me? Was I supposed to grieve you forever while you lived 2 states away under a fake name? Oh, I was going to come back, she said, eventually, once enough time passed that no one was watching anymore. I thought it would be easier for you to grieve me and heal than to live every day terrified that men were going to hurt you because of me. I sat in that car and felt something crack that I don't know if it will ever fully heal. You let me plan a funeral, Renata. I picked out a casket. I gave a eulogy. My mother cried so hard at your service that we had to help her to the car. I know, she whispered. I know, and I hate what I did to you. I do. But I need you to understand. I thought I was going to lose you either way. Either you grieved a woman who was actually gone, or you lived every day next to a woman who might get you killed. I didn't say anything for a long time. Outside the car, people pushed shopping carts across the lot, living their unremarkable Tuesday afternoons, completely unaware that 4 feet away from them, a marriage was either ending or being rebuilt, and I genuinely didn't know which yet. Is it over? I finally asked. The debt. The danger. All of it. Camille says it's done. The men who were after her, they got most of what they wanted. There's no reason for anyone to come looking anymore. I was going to wait another month, then quietly reappear, tell you I'd been in a witness protection situation I couldn't explain. I reached across that car and took her hand, the same hand I'd held in that oncologist's office, the same hand I'd let go of at a funeral that never should have happened. I am furious with you, I said. I want you to know that clearly. I am going to be angry about this for a long time, but I also understand, somewhere underneath the anger, that you thought you were protecting me, even if you were catastrophically wrong about how to do it. I'm so sorry, Marcus. We drove back to my sister's house together that night, and the conversation that followed lasted until almost 4 in the morning. I called Camille the next day. I will not repeat everything I said to her, but I will tell you that our relationship has not, and may never, fully recover. We had a small, quiet ceremony 3 weeks later. Not a wedding, not exactly, but something like a renewal. Just the 2 of us, a courthouse, and a promise that from now on, danger gets faced together, not carried alone and disguised as protection. My mother knows the truth now too. It took her a long time to stop crying when we told her, and a longer time still to stop hugging Renata every time she walked into a room, like she needed to keep confirming she was real. People ask me if I forgave her completely. I tell them forgiveness isn't a single decision. It's a practice you repeat every single day. Some days I manage it easily. Some days I still see a headstone with her name on it when I close my eyes. But she's here. Alive, real, sitting across the table from me every morning with her coffee and her terrible taste in radio stations. And after 4 months of grieving a woman who wasn't actually gone, I've decided that's worth almost anything. If this story moved you, subscribe for more real family stories and tell us in the comments, could you forgive something like this?
Pull shit dissolving the sound. We're too high for goodbyes. Gravity can't hold what we are. Ride away to the void. Can't remember who we were before. Too high, too high. Yeah, we're too high for goodbyes. Your tattoos tell stories that your mouth won't confess. I've been reading every line across your chest. We collide like planets, pull apart like tide. You're the chaos that I crave when I'm trying to hide. Pills on the counter, bottles on the floor. You keep asking what I'm searching for. Maybe nothing, maybe everything at once. We're just bodies learning how to front. Crash the whip into tomorrow. Drown the pain, don't need to borrow. All this rage and all this sorrow. Turn the static on the stereo. Check the rear view, see my past life fading quick. See my antidote, my overdose, my favorite trick. We don't sleep, we just listen frequency.